Hi guys, welcome back. Yes, it is the daytime and I am doing this in the daytime and I just realized that I'm so crooked. Oh my god, help me. Anyways, you guys we're all family here, right? We're all friends. Y'all ain't gonna be tripping on me for having a sideways bun. I just want you all to see my edges. I did such a wonderful job. Anyways, today's topic, food as an investment. Now, I just did this video and it didn't work out the way I had planned, so I got to start over. Okay, shall we? Shall we? Okay, so I have a few topics. Well, I have a few subtopics when it comes to in regards to food as an investment. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it's something that I'm actually quite interested in, but I'd never really talk in more depth on my channel about this. I know I said after I did the vegan for 6 months video that I would come on and talk more about health and nutrition. And I'm just loving this hair. I just cannot. Eh, 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 eh. And now we are here to have this conversation. And the first thing I want to talk about in terms of food as an investment is, what is your health worth? I should probably just leave it as that, because what is your health worth is like, that just says it all right there. If food is an investment, you're investing in what exactly? You're actually investing in your health. And the reason why I came upon this particular part of the conversation as the most, like the meat of it, is because when I was a vegan, I ended up having to spend an entirely ridiculous amount of money on eating healthy. Well, honestly, it was just being able to eat something other than oatmeal every damn day of my life. I was getting so sick and tired of only being able to eat oatmeal that I was like, what else can I eat? What are some protein meat substitutes? Because I also wasn't going to eat eggs. I know a lot of vegetarians, they do eat eggs, or used to be vegans, they do eat eggs, but I couldn't eat anything from an animal. And the reason why, it was a health reason. And I came to this question: what is food worth? When I was on my health journey, because I was taking all these tests and seeing all these different doctors and paying all of this money for these consultations, because, oh yes, as a small time employee, I did not have health insurance that would cover these different, things. I had to pay for it myself. And what I found out was that, having spent hundreds of dollars figuring out what was wrong and not being able to find out what was wrong, all of which could have been prevented if I was eating better. Now, I'm not beating up on myself, because, sometimes we just don't know what we don't know, and that's okay. The lesson cost me my health and money. And that's why I'm here to advocate that you invest in eating better, because I know a lot of the times, a lot of us are trying to save our coins because life is very expensive sometimes. And when you have other financial aspirations, investing in like the bio milk or the organic this or that might seem like an unworthy investment. And if I just eat the cheaper things, then if I just eat the ramen noodles, then it'll be fine. I can have the steak later on. That might be a little bit true, but the cost of eating cheaply is your health. Now, it's not me saying this. This is actual doctors, documented, you know, research shows that when you eat poorly, it affects your health first directly. Most chronic diseases, and even some non-chronic diseases like, cancer, allergies, well, those are chronic, but a lot of diseases can be prevented if we would just eat better, which is what I found out when I had all of these gastrointestinal problems, which turned out to be a number of different things with a combination of stress. Could have been prevented had I put myself in check in terms of the amount of animal based products that I was eating at the time. So that was what my health was worth, because I just ate whatever was available, quick and easy, and I still kind of eat like that now, except that now I am intentional to make sure that I'm eating raw, healthy, organically grown fruits and vegetables, along with meats and cheeses that are also organically and friendly slaughtered, I guess, um, instead of the cheaper things. And it's very, very tempting to do so. Yeah, so honestly, I think one of the things that I learned about that experience was that food is an investment that you got to make if you want to see better results and performances in yourself. It affects so much of who we are, what we do, what we look like, that it is imperative to be our best selves um, by eating properly. So the weight you carry is also a huge part of that investment, because I know a lot of the times, like, we are pretty much into body positivity movement, and I want to talk a little bit about how carrying a lot of weight is also very, very unhealthy for not just your body, but for your skeletal system is a part of your body. People who end up having back problems, knee problems, and you know, here in Germany especially, you'll find a lot of people have problems with their knees and feet. The weight you carry is as a direct result of how much weight you have had to carry. The breakdown of those muscles and bones are as a direct result of the amount of weight you have had to carry. Now, I know there are many people who are not overweight, so to speak, or who don't carry a lot of weight, who have these kinds of problems. But what I'm saying is specifically to the weight that you carry, it has a direct correlation with the wear and tear of your joints. Joints, that's the word I was looking for. And you can prevent the wear and tear by making sure that your body is in movement a lot or enough, and that you take care of your joints by making sure that they're not having to carry too much. You lighten up yourself. That's my next one. Is lighten up for as much lighten up as much as you can, responsibly. And when I say responsibly, don't try to lose a whole bunch of weight in like a ridiculous amount of time. Lose the weight in a way that is gentle and easy for your body to do so, while still pushing yourself a little bit more than you did the last time. That has worked for me tremendously. But you also want to make sure that you're following your bliss and it is fun. You'll find that the more you do it, the happier you will feel, because the more active you are, the more endorphins you build, the better you do feel. It also gives a great sense of accomplishment. For me, it's been a huge sense of accomplishment to reach in these years of my life, being 38, the wonderful young age of 38, and still being able to go to the gym on a regular basis. I've actually recently started taking up ninjutsu, and I really hope that I can continue to stick with it, because my sensei is 65, I think, maybe a little bit older, who had a stroke and who has had a full life, and he is like an inspiration to me as to what's possible, because the man is limber and fit as a fiddle, even more so than myself and a lot of the people that he teaches, and very strong. And that's just like a goal that I see myself being able to reach when I am at that age or even further, and he's been able to do that because he has kept himself physically active throughout his life, and also managed how much weight he has had to carry. And I use him as an example and not other people, like maybe I use him, a male, as an example, because I know that there is also a stereotype that men should weigh a lot, and you also have to carry that weight too. As a man, you still got to carry yourself from point A to point B. And when you're heavier, the older you get, the harder it is for your body to carry that weight, especially if you don't really necessarily need it. One of the things that I want to close off with is this myth of hunger. The myth of hunger is Ask yourself every single time you eat something, am I really hungry? It's very interesting to know that most people in the West actually eat too much. And in one of my recent consultations, when I started to refine the way that I eat, I won't use the word diet because that has a negative connotation that you're reaching some superficial goal. But refining the way I eat and what I eat, I have had to start to ask myself a very interesting question that I encourage you to ask yourself as well, because it changes your attitude towards food while minimizing the amount you eat just so that you're getting what you need and not just eating it out of another reason. Like, yeah. So ask yourself, am I really hungry? Why ask yourself this question? Because a lot of the times we just eat out of habit, we eat for comfort, we eat to socialize, we don't eat because we're actually hungry. And sometimes it's great to enjoy a piece of cake, enjoy a dessert, or enjoy an ice cream. Those are things that are actually very, very pleasing for human existence. It's part of our culture to eat, but it is not our culture to eat. And making that distinction stems from the ability of actually being able to ask the question, are you really hungry? Right? It's a different thing to be hungry than to fill a desire with food that should be filled with something else. The other part of that that is really, really interesting is that if you're having breakfast, lunch, or dinner just because it's time for it and not because you're actually hungry, you can actually end up eating more than your body actually necessarily wants to. I once read in one of my researches that 30%, a whopping 30% of alleged thinking of hunger is actually thirst. So before you eat anything, you should stock up a couple glasses of water and see how you feel after you do so. If you feel like the feeling in your stomach is grabbing you in the next 10 minutes, again, 10 minutes after you've drank something, then I would suggest, of course, eating something. What you will even find then is that once you sit to eat, you will not eat as much as you would have if you had just gone straight and started eating. For me, which reminds me, also that yeah, I gotta get some water in me. For me, I started paying attention to what I ate in the mornings and in the evenings. And what I found, what is very interesting, is that I only eat 2.5, maybe twice a day, as opposed to my original 3 to 5 times a day. Yep, 5 times a day. And the reason why I started doing that is because breakfast for me is just a ritual. Like, I need something in the morning to say that I'm up. Now I just have a cup of tea or a smoothie. On the weekends, I'll have a bigger meal. But during the week, I try to either have a big breakfast and a small lunch, or a small breakfast and a big lunch. And depending on what time I have lunch, traditionally in our culture, you have lunch at 12. It doesn't matter if you're hungry or not. 12 o'clock, you gotta have food. I've waited actually between breakfast and lunch to eat so that I actually end up eating lunch later. And because I eat lunch later, I am not hungry. I'm not hungry again for the rest of the day because I eat lunch is sort of like a lunch dinner. And by the time it's 6 or 7, if I'm not going to the gym or to the dojo, I probably will only have like a slice of bread or a glass of water or a cup of tea or both or all of the above. And then that's it for me. When I do that, I have little in the evening. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm hungry. And I eat most of my food in the morning and then just snack throughout the day. If you're not a big snack person and you rather sit and have lunch, then I would recommend that you have something very small in the morning and then eat your lunch at a reasonable time, maybe between 1 and 3. Don't have your lunch too early. Try to make sure that you stay hungry for as long as possible so that you can familiarize yourself with that feeling of hunger. So the next time you eat or the next time you feel it, you know that's hunger and not thirst. Well, this has been my 2 cents, guys. I hope you guys have a lot to say or to ask, or like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to leave a description to the video about vegan dieting down below. If you guys want to hear more about dieting and eating and my advocacy for eating healthy, please let me know in the description box, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.